Hello and welcome back to the Lore Raider. Bayonetta 3 released, and personally I absolutely love the game from both the perspective of a common gamer, but also from a lore analyzer and power scaling perspective. And as promised, today is the day we finish our Bayonetta power scaling trilogy by analyzing the end of the Bayonetta franchise, so far anyway. However, I need to state that I will be scaling under my belief that the Bayonetta we play as is the same as the Bayonetta from the previous two games, and I think YouTubers like RaccoonX is dead wrong when they say that we're playing as the youngsters from Bayonetta 1 for one reason. This Bayonetta has Loki's magic playing cards. There's only one Loki, Lopter, and Aesir. We know there is only one Aesir because in Bayonetta 2, we know that Aesir was looking over and perceiving innumerable infinite different possibilities, whilst at the same time anything Aesir perceived became reality. In other words, Aesir brought into reality all of the infinite universes that make up the multiverse. Like Paradiso and Inferno, there can only be one god overseeing the human realm, and so to claim every Bayonetta variant fought an Aesir variant or a Loki variant is a baseless lie. If more hard evidence comes out, I'll change my position, but really, this piece of evidence completely destroys the whole we're playing as a young Bayonetta from another timeline. It's just impossible. But anyway, with that out of the way, let's get on to the scaling. Now, if you don't know, I've already done scaling videos for Bayonetta 1 and Bayonetta 2 respectively, and I definitely encourage you to watch them before starting this one. The conclusions we came to between the last two videos is that almost the entire Bayonetta verse has infinite speed. We established that high tiers in the verse are low multiversal due to scaling to the likes of Jubileus, the Crater, and Aesir. Both Infernal demons and angels were anywhere between multi-continental thanks to Madame Butterfly casually headbutting an asteroid, to low multiversal depending on how you interpret Gamora one-hit killing Jean in Bayonetta 2. I also discussed Bayonetta, Jean, and others have an assortment of different hacks thanks to their weapons. If you want an in-depth explanation of anything I've said on those videos, please, again, check them out as they'll be in the links in the description and pinned comment down below, as I intend to go full steam ahead from here on out. So, let's get on into it.
You know, I really love New York, but ill-behaved tourists can be quite a pain.
As always, let's start the discussion of raw attack potency and durability. And as usual, I prefer to work with the highest tiers and work downward. To put it bluntly, the game's main antagonist, Singularity, is the strongest character in the game, the strongest non-god character in the verse. His feat of consistently murdering other universes' versions of Bayonetta and Jean, among others, with host bodies that are far inferior to his real body, easily puts him above them. But his greatest feat is literally the fact that in a relatively short space of time, which we'll get to more later, Singularity destroyed the vast majority of the multiverse. While this feat is impressive even on paper, the question is, how large is the Bayonetta multiverse? In Bayonetta 3, Rodan explains how the multiverse works, that there's only ever one Infernal and Paradiso, as they are so much larger than the combined multiverse of human universes that are kind of stacked on top of each other like pancakes.
Within the trinity of realities, the world of chaos, it's actually made up of countless universes, all stacked up together. That's the multiverse. If someone's wiping those universes out, one by one. No, wiping out doesn't quite explain it. They're breaking the multiverse down, trying to fuse it together. And if they can pull it off, they'll get their hands on enough power to wipe out the whole trinity in a snap.
However, Bayonetta 2 is actually the key to understanding the size of the multiverse. You see, as I explained earlier in a few paragraphs ago, Aesir, the god of chaos, oversaw an innumerable or infinite number of different possibilities, which he then perceived those infinite possibilities and made them into reality. He created the ultimate, infinite multiverse. So now we know for sure that we're dealing with an infinite multiverse. Let's tie that back into Singularity. With all the cards on the table, Singularity Definition, who has stated in his log entry to become one with the chaotic energy of the multiverse, has effectively become another Aesir. and honest and true to a high multiversal entity. However, the fact that he, like Jubileus, had plans to destroy the Trinity and was stated he would have been capable of doing so by Rodan, combined with the fact that Infernal and Paradiso are both superior in size and scope to the infinite Bayonetta multiverse, and the fact that mere first sphere angels like Valiant and Joy are stated to exist in a metaphysical form, a strong argument for 1C low complex multiversal exists. Obviously, God tier characters like Full Power Jubileus, Queen Sheba, Aesir, and Omni all scale to singularity, and given Bayonetta doesn't get squashed like an ant immediately and contends strongly with singularity, high tiers would be comparable but obviously still weaker. This would include the Full Power Arc Adam Origin Luca, Full Power Rodan. Obviously, our Bayonetta and John should also scale to this as well. Also, to the mindless horde of lemmings who squealed about how the game has inconsistent scaling, or some shit like how John was killed by a backstab. Do you not remember John getting killed by an off-guard attack from Gamora in the previous game? Or that Singularity's machine killed her? Singularity designed every single homunculi. You know, the monsters that murdered alternate versions of Bayonetta and John's? You think a being of his stature and intelligence can't kill an off-guarded witch? Use your brains if you would. Unlike attack potency and durability, speed remains mostly the same from the last few videos. It's already been confirmed that the lower part of the Bayonetta verse is infinite speed, while the highest echelons are immeasurable speed. You remember Arenik, right? The angel fighter that can cross all of Paradiso in less than a day? Well, given that Paradiso is a few thousand times larger than the infinite multiverse, it's still infinite, meaning everyone that can scale to Arenik is infinitely speed. Really, it just means speed comes down to who has the higher affinity between combatants. It was already infinite for high tiers in the second game, thanks to the characters like Bayonetta and Aesir being able to simply move through time with their sheer running or movement speed, which is immeasurable, and frankly there's nothing more to be said about this. Bayonetta 3 simply adds more feats for us to talk about. For example, the fact that Singularity managed to destroy most of the infinite multiverse in a relatively small frame of time supports this. The other thing that supports this, ironically, is that if you have an infinite number of universes and a finite number of certain demons, like Madama Butterfly, it means that each demon has an infinite number of summoners, meaning the demons are moving fast enough to be everywhere, anywhere, anytime, all at once, at the same time. Sounds immeasurable to me. Infernal demons also get a pretty sizable upgrade. In the Bayonetta 2 video, we thought maybe they could possibly get to low multiversal where they were more likely planet level. Well, throw that completely and utterly out the window and into the furnace, as the Infernal demons consistently kill Bayonetta variants or homunculi that have killed Bayonetta variants. Queen Butterfly killed the homunculus that you see on screen that killed the Chinese Bayonetta so casually, in fact, that she was taking a bath through most of the fight. Meanwhile, Balzebul managed to kill the French Bayonetta and her demon while simply singing a song and also killing like a couple hundred homunculi in the process. Also, the Phantom, a true form of Phasmarantanium, literally nuked a homunculi designed by Singularity himself to represent a malevolent god out of existence. And finally, and perhaps my favorite, Queen Butterfly and Sin Gamora tag teamed to literally Kamehameha a weaker form of Singularity into orbit. Clearly only truly high-tier demons, angel, and homunculi scale to this. The fact that these two demons defeated Singularity Chaos, who was already far superior to base Singularity and his army, who wiped out most of the multiverse? Sounds like multiversal to me, fellas. Moving on. The final bit of business for this video would be discussion of hacks abilities. I've made an extensive list of the type of hacks abilities you can expect from Bayonetta's weapons in previous videos, so I'll only be discussing some of the new ones here. The most notable improvement to Bayonetta's toolkit is the ability to fight while summoning demons who can act independently of her, as well as the new Demon Masquerade technique which you see on screen, which fuses her with any demon she has a pact with, which makes her stronger as a result and lends her some of their abilities. These include powered flight, web spinning, immunity to heat, pain negation, among other things. Things in the verse can tank heats, by the way, up to 1 trillion degrees. That's how hot the flames that burn within the Phantom are, and not immediately be destroyed. For reference, the sun's surface is only about 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The new faction, the homunculi, also have their fair share of hacks as well. Most notably the fog they spread, known as the Clouds of Erasure. These clouds literally erase reality wherever it spreads, and these clouds have obviously destroyed most of the multiverse as we know it, so they're pretty damn effective. Interestingly, homunculi seem to be largely immune to this cloud, suggesting either high resistance to or outright immunity to existence erasure, which is very impressive. And so that concluded the state of power scaling in Bayonetta 3. To recap quickly what we just discussed, it's in my opinion that the lowest tiers of the Bayonetta verse has infinite speed scaling from Arenik, who can cross Paradiso, which is an infinitely sized dimension, and at maximum you have immeasurable speed scaling to Bayonetta and Azir, who can literally run through time. In terms of attack potency, even Infernal demons, high tier homunculi, and angels reach high multiversal due to killing Bayonetta variants, who scale to our Bayonetta, who defeated Aesir, the creator of the multiverse. Meanwhile, God tier, like our Bayonetta, full power Luca, Rodan, Singularity, and the full power gods of the Trinity, like you reach low complex multiversal 1C, given the sheer scale of how much larger Paradiso and Infernal are above the human multiverse, among with the fact that weak aspects of Jubileus exist in a purely metaphysical form, and gods like Azir are stated to be above concepts like time and space. And both Singularity and Jubileus would have destroyed the entire Trinity had they not been stopped. With that out the way, I do hope you all enjoyed this trilogy of videos for the excellent video game trilogy that was Bayonetta. If you haven't played the games, I strongly recommend them. I couldn't recommend them enough. That you pick them up today. Trust me, it'll be well worth your money. But with this trilogy complete, I am open to using Bayonetta in my other versus battle videos. So if you have any match suggestions that you want to see below, well, let me know down below in the comment section. I could do Bayonetta versus Doomslayer, Bayonetta versus Samsara, even though that's a stomp, or Bayonetta versus any other character you'd like to see. Just let me know. I'm very open to the idea. Until then, be safe, be wise, and I'll see you next time.